I'm Konnor Andersen, and this is Cyber Building Blocks. Most startups treat go-to-market as or, but the best startups treat it as and. Why hybrid go-to-market motions are winning in 2026. Most cybersecurity startups would have much more success in building out their go-to-market operations if they made one simple change in their vocabulary. Stop saying option one or option two. Try option one and option two. It's and over or. Too many cybersecurity founders and early go-to-market teams treat everything as a series of just binary options and decisions. PLG or sales-led, inbound or outbound, direct or channel sales, human touch or AI agents. That's the wrong way to look at it. At first glance, it might look like prioritization. And for some founders, it is. But for many, it's poor resource allocation. And to be successful, you'll need to drastically increase the volume, which usually means and. The common mistake is that your preferred strategy isn't wrong, but it leaves opportunities on the table and just slows down your growth. You lean towards PLG because you love how capital efficient it is, which is true. But it might just be covering up the fact that you haven't developed the skill to hire and enable a field sales team that can actually go out and sell. Well, you might love outbound because it can scale more linearly, and that's true. But at the same time, it might just be because you haven't figured out how to build a clear marketing message that can cut through the noise and drive inbound leads. Maybe you were all in on the channel, but that's because that's how the largest go-to-market orgs run. You might not have the runway or the resources to successfully run that playbook early on. It feels logical because picking one thing is simpler to execute, simpler to hire for, and just easier to explain on a board meeting on the one slide so you can get back to the product roadmap stuff you're much more comfortable talking about. Trust me, I love simple, but hybrid doesn't have to mean complex. Data consistently shows that building a hybrid approach delivers better results, especially early on. And by hybrid, I just mean a more well-rounded go-to-market approach. One simple example. If you look at pure NRR, net revenue retention, aka how much of your product your current customers keep buying from you year after year, startups that combine both a product-led and sales-led motion concurrently are consistently about 10% higher than if you just pick one or the other. The same pattern shows up in pipeline generation. Outbound opportunities are larger, about 1.5 to 2.5 times bigger in ACV, but convert slower than inbound. Not shocking. So do you want the bigger deals or do you want the quicker deals? Most startups want both. I want both. But both help with the revenue traction you're trying to build early on. Over-optimizing for one starves the other of exactly what you're good at. You don't want a pipeline to be 100% of smaller inbound deals or 100% of larger outbound deals that will take forever to close. You want a mix. So my challenge to you is this. Find ways where you can change or for and. Start small and make simple steps in the right direction. It will take changing how you think about building your team, building your pipeline, and forecasting revenue. For example, if you're trying to go from 1 million in ARR to 4 million in ARR this year, you might not need to 4x your sales team. Instead of thinking about pure outbound headcount, which is exactly what you're doing when you think about adding headcount, adding just pure outbound, think about what strategies you need to execute to drive inbound, channel, and other organic growth opportunities. Have a strong PLG marketing, simple sign-up process, and strong enablement, engaging communities, and a proactive outbound sales team that is enabled and supported to drive new opportunities, PLG and outbound. Invest in AEO, website conversions, and founder-led social brand, and all the other inbound strategies. And build a strong outbound SDR team to target specific named accounts. Build a consistent direct motion by talking directly with CISOs and practitioners about their day-to-day. And build relationships with local and national channel partners to drive joint business. Sponsor in-person events and dinners and happy hours focused on human connections and really deep relationships. And invest in agentic workflows and make sure your sales, marketing, channel, and SDR teams are more efficient and increase output because of AI. It's and. I know that's a lot, but I promise you that the tools and the ecosystem that we have today allow us to build revenue orgs differently. Modern revenue orgs will look different. They'll focus on agentic workflows, channel depth, employee brands, and in-person experiences. Those are the 4 things that I think will help people stand out. It'll be much different than the playbooks we ran 10 years ago. Yes, trust still takes time to build. There's no replacing that. But think of time less as 9 months and more as 27 quality touchpoints, the same as meeting 3 times per month for 9 months. How can you build a hybrid approach to help you get to those touchpoints more quickly? The startups that are growing the fastest aren't choosing, but are focused on combining multiple strategies together. Here's what I'm trying this week. Remember, I'm in the trenches building just like you. I'm focused on building out a hybrid approach to go to market in my own business as well. I'm consistently trying to put out content about different aspects of sales and marketing on different channels and different formats to drive AEO, SEO, and inbound air cover. I'm focused on talking to other ecosystem partners like VCs, executive recruiters, and venture accelerators to build partnerships to drive joint business. But then I'm also reaching out directly to specific startups that need support to grow in a modern hybrid go-to-market motion that's working in 2026. Not sequencing one after the other, but running them all simultaneously, trying to practice what I preach when it comes to and over or. That's all for this week's newsletter. Keep fighting the good fight. Konnor.